Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope this video finds you well. I have a lot of really big stories that I want to jump right into today. I hope this video finds you well. A CIA whistleblower has revealed that she and others had their careers in the CIA cut short because they were hurt by a secret weapon from another country. This isn't just any weapon. It's a high-tech one that uses microwaves, which can be as small as fitting into a backpack. These weapons can mess with the human body's nervous system, which can either kill someone right away or make them sick over time. The scary part is you can't see these weapons because they are invisible. Now, the whistleblower has come forward and says that the Biden-Harris team, along with the CIA, is trying to hide this from everyone. They might be doing this to stop people from being scared or to keep peace with other countries. However, this story is big and developing because it shows how dangerous these new weapons can be and how our own government might be keeping them secret. It's making people wonder about our safety and what the government knows but isn't telling us. Even Colonel McGregor, who's been on the show dozens of times, wrote on Twitter that this is a big story that is still developing, so I'll continue to keep you updated as I know more. As President Trump prepares to take the Oval Office again, he's expressed frustration with former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy for working with Biden to raise the debt ceiling back in 2023. While this issue may seem irrelevant to today, Kevin McCarthy's decision raised the debt ceiling into 2025, which pushed the responsibility for dealing with major debt issues onto the next administration, which now happens to be Donald J. Trump instead of Kamala Harris. In a post on Truth Social, Trump bashed Kevin McCarthy by stating, "The extension of the debt ceiling by a previous Speaker of the House, a good man, a friend of mine, from this past September of the Biden administration to June of the Trump administration will go down as one of the dumbest political decisions made in years. There is no reason to do it. Nothing was gained and we got nothing for it. A major reason why that speakership was lost." Now, I remember Trump being mad and saying, listen, we should use this as a negotiating chip, as a bargaining lever, but they didn't want to do that. The Republicans, with no spine, just rolled over and gave Democrats exactly what they wanted. As you'll remember, when I reported on this, I said, what's the point of having the majority if the Democrats end up getting their policies through more than Republicans? Like, it's so stupid to have a House majority and then the other party gets their way more than you do. Now, it was Biden's problem, not ours. Now it becomes ours. The Democrats must be forced to take a vote on this treacherous issue now, during the Biden administration, and not in June. They should be blamed for this potential disaster, not the Republicans. So he's obviously worried about not only reputation of the Republicans, but also for the country. This is really, really bad. And later in another video, I'm going to go deep on how it's been discovered that Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has actually been purposely running the United States out of money in order to force a vote and to set Donald Trump up to have almost no money to operate with. So they're trying to bankrupt his reputation, bankrupt his policies, and bankrupt the country in order to make Donald Trump look bad. Now, in essence, Biden was essentially allowed to overspend for years without facing the consequences of his action. You can't do that, I can't do that, but the government under Kevin McCarthy voted to give Biden basically a blank check. Well, no wonder they keep sending money to Ukraine and other places, but then they don't have money for America. So a blank check is bad for America and was not good for Americans, if that makes sense. Now, if the debt ceiling wasn't raised, the U.S. would have failed to make payments on its debt, which would have hurt the entire economy by decreasing international trust and weakened the dollar. So on the one hand, it had to be done, but to give an infinite, uncapped ceiling, that was where it crossed the line. Now, if McCarthy did allow this to happen, the economy would have collapsed under Biden and not Trump. But now the 2025 has come around. We need a new increase in the debt ceiling. If Democrats don't agree to do so, Trump may be forced to deal with what he calls another Great Depression. Hopefully, the left doesn't leave Republicans on the chopping block to help them make political advancements. If they did, it could look like Trump is responsible for the economic downfall rather than the real culprit, which is Joseph Robinette Biden. Now, some of you I've seen in the comments, you've been saying things like they're going to destroy the economy in order to get Trump, or they're going to allow for a stock market drop in order to get Trump. Well, it looks like they might actually be setting him up for both. This is not good for the country. This is what makes me mad about Democrats, is they're literally willing to risk our nation in order to remain in power. And Republicans have been too polite for too long, and their niceness actually turned out to be very mean, right? Like, you can't be nice to a bully or they just continue to bully you. Now, in my opinion, this decision will set the entire tone for the Trump administration. We will get to see if Democrats put themselves first or the American people. I can already predict on Polymarket where they're going to put their focus. It's going to be on remaining in power. Now, in a way, McCarthy put the American people first by bailing out Biden. However, he's now put the American people last by sticking it to Trump in the end. They call this the longer, shorter way, right? Like, it was shorter in the short run, but in the long run, it's going to be a long, hard, difficult road. Now, after bashing former Speaker Kevin McCarthy and even criticizing current Speaker Mike Johnson, Trump has finally endorsed Mike Johnson for Speaker of the House once again. For those unaware, Trump recently hit Johnson for failing to increase the debt ceiling in the last few weeks of 2024, which Trump argued showed his weakness and inability to lead. I told you that I thought we would get closer to January, before he would express an opinion. I thought he would out him, but it looks like he's going to keep him in. Now, the only reason that Trump might be doing this is he feels like he'll get more done with Mike Johnson as an ally versus a foe. And so that could be the reason for this, but only time will tell. But you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Representative Thomas Massey, and others. They're saying, we're not going to vote for Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. So my guess is if he gets in, it will be because of Trump's endorsement and Democrats backing Mike Johnson. But Mike Johnson is going to have to put America first and MAGA first if he wants to survive. Otherwise, they're going to call for his removal, just like they did with Kevin McCarthy. Now, if I had to guess, Johnson pleaded for another chance and Trump gave it to him to avoid the headache of appointing someone new. After all, Republicans need a speaker who will certify the election on January 6th and put Trump back in power. That way he can use executive orders to fix the border, help with the dollar, try to end the wars. But while Johnson may fix Trump's problems in the short term, the debt ceiling issue is looming over his head, and Biden doesn't seem to be slowing down on spending. For instance, President Biden just announced he will be giving another $2.5 billion to Ukraine. He stated, "At my direction, the United States will continue to work relentlessly to strengthen Ukraine's position in this war over the remainder of my time in office." Basically, Biden is saying $2.5 billion he just gave is only the start. Now, this is what makes me mad. In my remaining time as president, I will work relentlessly for Ukraine. Dude, how about working relentlessly for America in your final days? This goes back to one of the talking points of Kamala Harris. She kept saying, when I'm in power, I'm going to make your life better. Lady, you're already in power. Do it now. They don't want to. So I want Biden to go down in history as the worst president we've ever had. And from his own lips to your ears, in my final days as president, I will work relentlessly for Ukraine, not for America. He's such an America last president. All right, Elon Musk, Trump's Doge appointee over the Department of Government Efficiency, has just argued that America needs to make changes to its H-1B visa program. As of now, U.S. employers are allowed to hire foreign workers with specialized knowledge. While Musk does support this, he claimed it should be more expensive to hire foreigners than it is to disadvantage American workers. This is a big change in the tone of Elon Musk. And this makes a lot of sense, right? Like, okay, if someone's so good and so specialized and so needed, you've got to pay extra to have that person on payroll versus an American citizen who could go get that same skill set and be given a job. Now, Elon Musk stated the program can be easily fixed by raising the minimum salary significantly and adding a yearly cost to maintaining the H-1B visa, making it materially more expensive to hire from overseas than domestically. I have to admit, it's refreshing to hear people in government make sense. I feel like we went from censorship to transparency, and it's absolutely amazing. Now, let me know in the comments, do you agree with this? That it's okay to bring in a specialized foreign worker, but it should be more expensive than hiring a domestic American citizen. Let me know your thoughts down below, please. All right, in international news, Trump seems to be having a hard time convincing Russia to back down from its attack on Ukraine. Unfortunately for the Trump administration, their proposal was leaked, which led Russia to publicly announce that they reject it. Now, why would somebody leak that? Is this just another example of trying to undermine Trump before he even gets into office? It appears so. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated, "We are not happy, of course, with the proposal made by the member of the Trump team to postpone Ukraine's admission to NATO for 20 years and to station British and European peacekeeping forces in Ukraine. With that being said, we now know Trump is starting off negotiation by offering to delay Ukraine's NATO membership 20 years. If I had to guess, there will be back and forth, but this should get resolved soon. Do you believe that Donald Trump will be able to end this war? I believe it's going to be more difficult than anybody believes, but I do believe he will be able to get it done. But the fact that they've leaked this before he can sit down with Zelensky and Putin is not a good thing. They really should not have done this. Now, my guess is they're going to have to remove people from Ukraine, agree to not have Ukraine join NATO, remove weapons from Ukraine, and probably put in some kind of a land border or a neutral zone between Ukraine and Russia on the western border of Russia and the eastern border of Ukraine. But regardless of what happens, Trump's plans have been leaked and Biden's plans have been publicly shared. I will do everything in my power in my final days to help Ukraine, not America. Hey, I love you guys. I'm off to be with family. I just wanted to come on and cover these big stories. If you could do me a favor, if you appreciate the channel, give this video a like. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 1.9 million amazing truth seekers. I love you guys. Stay amazing. And I will see you on the next video.